can. He's only about 2.5 seconds away. Putting Zach Kerr a lap down, leaving us with only 2 drivers. In fact, his pace has come up, not down in this final run, as Matt Danson. Apologies to everyone who's just rejoined us. We'll mention we had a dropout over on the YouTube live stream. Should be reconnected now. Hope you're all rejoining us for the final few laps of this one. 10 miles left in racing distance for Matt Danson. Nice and easy to calculate here tonight as he becomes 9. Get through turn 1 and turn 2. Halfway down the backstretch, it becomes 8.5. You come off of turn 4 until the stripe, it becomes 8.
Matt Danson just ranging up on the back of Brad Newman there. Good Brad Newman, another lap down. He's 12 laps down. I believe he pitted earlier, so our strategy call for him did not come to pass. It's not often you see Brad Newman 12 laps down, but sometimes you just get a bit unlucky with what happens around you, just out of your control.
His first car on the scene. That is all she wrote, unfortunately, for Brad. Not much he can do. He's done the best he possibly can with the car that he's got underneath him. So, Newman is only lost spots as the night's unfolded. The longer this race has gone on. I can't believe... Well, it's going to end up being our longest green flag run in the history of the series at 195 laps. It's just a shame that it came to us in the format that it did. It's a brilliant racetrack, Dover. Wild things always tend to happen around here. Not as wild as Bristol, but she creates interesting race. One battle left to us, potentially, we're keeping half an eye on, is Sam Chapman. About half a second.
Grant Matterford, who's that first car in that grid. Sorry, Scott.
Yeah, go ahead.
So he's got 2 lap cars to find himself around. And then we will be on for a position. There's only 3 laps to go, so there's not a lot of time. They seem very even on pace at the moment. Zach Kerr is very much in the clutches of Matt Danson to go 1 lap down.
Although he's only got 2 more laps to get there. And the pace isn't good enough to get there, unfortunately. So he will hang on to finish on the lead lap. Zach Kerr.
Quite the accomplishment in this race. 195 laps green, now 196, 197 or so. The white flag has been taken. So we will be using none of those green and white checkers tonight. You can put that flag away. Or a big slap of the wall in the background there. You see there, started 6, moved to the lead very early. Up 5 spots, 184 laps led as he takes the checkered flag to take through round 6 of the Australian NASCAR Championships at the Monster Mile, Dover.
And that will move him atop the playoff point standings as well, and that will be a huge one for him. Dave Douglas is going to celebrate a good night and a top 5 finish for the number 10 Nitro machine. And a lot of drivers are going to be left wondering what could have been. Lap 1, it all kicked off. Ethan Winter for the new team will get home second. Zach Kerr home inside the podium. And third, and Lewis Greathead, remember, 3 winners thus far this season. Lewis Greathead still finishes inside the top 4 as well.
As we see Danson burn it down in the background, he's on the brake. He's going to tip it in over the start-finish line. I'll give him a solid 6 out of 10 for this burnout.
Well, he nudged the wall, and he's going to lose
we'll
points.
Go 5 out of 10 for that then.
But he is at least doing some damage to those rear tyres, which is certainly far better than a couple weeks ago back in Iowa. So at least he's on the improve. You reckon he's did some practice between Iowa and now?
I would certainly hope so, because he's still burning the rears off that. He did a long time on the brake.
In actual fact, he might be out of fuel now as well. Final results are going to come your way, ladies and gents. Nope, still a few drops of juice left on board the Altus Engineering machine as he pulls it back up on the start-finish line. She coughs, she splutters, she dies behind. Matt Danson from Ethan Winter, Zach Kerr. Ethan Winter, very happy home in P2 for the new team. Zach Kerr behind him in Nexus Esports. P1 Docs machine. Vermilion Esports get their way inside the top 5 yet again. Lewis Greathead from Dave Douglas, the first of the Nitro Racing machines home. Jamie Ritchie Price gets his best result of the season at a 6th spot. Henry King home 7th. Grant Matterford inside of the top 10 for the driver that got promoted to the series after round number 1. Sam Chapman, Tyler Williams going to round out your top 10. Outside of the 10, Josh Micklemore home 7 laps down. This is where it starts to unfortunately go a little bit haywire. Aaron Gilbert was a lot further up. A few wall contacts and a speeding on pit lane penalty dropped him outside of 5 laps off the lead. Jason Holdsworth, major damage to the front end of that race car. Tom Freer also caught up in the lap 1 melee. Brad Newman, the heaviest affected of those cars still running. Fitzroy Beaumont spent a long time on pit lane, but able to resurrect that car and get back out there. Then we get into the retirement. The first of those, Ryan Jones, hung around, kept that car circulating. He did pick up a few spots to his benefit. Stevie Williams also managed to stay in the server 1 lap longer than a few of the other drivers. Home at 18th, Wayne Burke, 199 laps down. This is the drivers that only got through that lap 1 crash. Wayne Burke, Brent West, Shane Bowen, and Darren McKenzie all retiring at the end of lap 1. And unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, that's the only caution we saw tonight as well. After that, it was green flag racing. The field was thinned on this Anzac Day long weekend. We're going to take an opportunity to walk from the bottom steps of our podium to the top. We'll take a chat to the driver of the number 12 machine, Zach Kerr, first. And Zach, a long old night here tonight. Very long way since that caution all the way back on lap number 1. And you had a quick car in qualifying. It looked quick early on in the stint, and that thing looked an absolute handful by, 30 laps into that first run?
Oh, no doubt. It was even before 30. I think I got to maybe 15 or 20, and I could already feel it getting loose. And at that point, I knew it was going to be a race where I had to hold on the whole time.
Mate, looked like you took a few big swings at the car. You were actually able to get it back underneath you, but by then the damage was done, unfortunately. That first run, and I guess the feeling would have been when you looked back up in the rearview mirror and you saw so few cars make through away through the wreck, the mind immediately would have jumped, okay, we're probably going to get a very, very long green flag run here. How did the car come to you across the course of the rest of that race?
It was just at every pit stop I would make an adjustment, trying to see if it would benefit me or not. In the first one, it helped, but it wasn't a big enough a swing to keep me with the pace with the front two, which was I was already off strategy pitting the few laps before, which didn't help. And then that last one, I made a very large swing at it, and it helped, but the damage was done in that first stint.
In terms of the championship at the moment, obviously pace has been looking good. You had 2 wins coming into tonight. It's just those little things, unfortunately, when a touch too loose in the setup. But hey, look, P2 now in the championship, walking away from tonight in terms of playoff points. You're still locked in. has the strategy swung around a little bit? Are you trying things that you necessarily wouldn't normally try, going, okay, yeah, I'm definitely locked into the playoffs. I'm trying to put myself in different situations and have a different swing at the car where you normally wouldn't have that freedom?
I'm just doing it as I normally would. I know with the team behind me, we can just bring a good setup every week, but at the moment, it's more or less not putting all our effort in now and saving our effort for the playoffs.
All right, mate. Finally, the floor is all yours. You mentioned the team that's behind you. It might be an opportunity to give them a shout out here for bringing it home in third spot.
Just a massive thanks to all the Nexus Esports guys, P1 Docs as well for sponsoring the car, Cosman from Splash and Go for the paint, and everyone that supports me.
Mate, congratulations on P3. You've won 2 races already this season. Maybe next time out might be win number 3. Congratulations, mate.
Thank you.
Well, that was not only P3 on the podium, it was also tonight's pole sitter as well. We'll take one step further up the running order. We'll chat to the driver of the number 39 machine. A team change for Ethan Winter has happened this week, and Aaron Dorman is here to discuss it with him.
Ethan, how'd you go through that race? Like getting through the start and massively the team change. How'd they help you get this second position?
Yeah, so on the team front, not too much has changed, honestly. Just changing to a team that we're kind of aligned with, with sprint cars. So nothing has changed on that side. Just we're going to add some sponsors to what we're trying to do over there with the Vortex group. So we'll be starting that program up, tonight, and pretty good run first time out for the new group and Thomas. And interesting race, I must say. I think there was like 14 cars maybe involved in that first race. So just had the feeling that it'd probably go green. After the yellow would go checkered. No cautions, not enough cars on the track. So that's how it played out. And I certainly had nothing for Matt there, but all in all, best result in ANC so far this year. So I'm pretty happy.
It's good bank of points. Did you chase the car around on that run, or just kind of leave it as is and just drive around any condition it might have had?
I think it was pretty good the first 2 runs. My tires were still under me at the end of the run. Nose was still pretty free, which was good. But that last run kind of just missed the adjustments. Got a fraction tight, but again, it wouldn't have mattered. I was just riding around for second there, to be honest. Just take some notes. So next time we come to Dover, I can be, hopefully a fraction better and closer to Matt. That's for sure.
Well, it's definitely a great opening account for the Vortex team there. So the floor is yours to shout out any friends, family, sponsors.
Yeah, just thanks to the Vermilion guys for just letting me in, and we're all helping each other out. So that's a good alliance that we got going there. Thanks to Nick at Team Conti for everything he does, setups, all kinds of resources that help us all out. Thanks to Nigel and Jason for putting this whole deal together. Every series runs great. Thanks to Vortex, Thomas, and all the sponsors that are going to jump on board in the future. Look forward to it.
Well, no worries. Thank you for everything tonight, and congratulations on your second place position.
Thank you.
As now we bring in our first place getter, Matt Danson. Welcome.
Hey, how you doing, Aaron?
I'm doing quite well. How'd that race go for you? Obviously.
Pretty good. Yeah, pretty good, I think. It obviously had a great deal of fortune with what sort of transpired at the very beginning. Took out a lot of really strong cars that are always up there. But there was still plenty of names, big names that were there and were still ahead of me. Zach, Ethan, Dave, Lewis has had a great season as well. So there's still plenty up in the air, and I'm always like a harsh, no, not a harsh critic per se, but like always expecting the worst, I guess. Plan for the worst sort of thing. So I was, even like when I was sort of catching up on Zach. The whole time I'm thinking, okay, when's he gonna make his comeback? Because he's gonna have speed for sure. He's too fast to you can't sort of keep him down. And I was very aware of Ethan, and because he's every week he's getting faster and faster, and he's already super fast as it is. So but I love this track. So I just had to focus on hitting my marks and doing my thing, and I put in a little bit of preparation earlier today. I really enjoy this track, so put in a bit of extra TLC and made some changes. I was anticipating a little bit of a cooler track, so I'd loosened it up quite a lot, and then that made it. It's kind of fortunate in the end. I think it probably just balanced itself out just nicely, because the car felt amazing. Like, it was on rails. It felt like for a lot of it. But yeah, I mean, it was after I got in the lead and was able to kind of get my rhythm. It was pretty. I don't want to say uneventful. Like, I feel like my arms are about to fall off. Certainly my wrists. Just the forces through the corners in this track are full on, and I have mine way up just so I can really feel it in the corners. And it feels like you're always in the corner here. It's very similar to Bristol. So probably the only real blemish on the night was I got a really good restart on that initial restart. I know this has become like a TED talk, and I apologize. I'm sure you got other questions, but had a really good restart, and Ethan kind of he was right ahead of me. He sort of was bobbled a little bit. I don't know if he got a bit of wheel spin or something, but got up through the gears, got past the start finish line, and by that stage you can change your line, and had the momentum and got low on him. And I think he sort of said himself he was a bit preoccupied, or at least he said to me anyway. I don't know what he said to you guys, but he was a bit preoccupied with the car to his outside, and maybe didn't really expect me to continue with the move. But I mean, Dover is such a bottom strong track, and especially with my style, I feel like I really hook the bottom super well and can make those passes. And so I was always going to go on with it. But I mean, there was no wreck; everything was fine. But just I don't love to have a bit of contact, but it wasn't really my fault.
NASCAR is a contact sport. So in that practice you did earlier today, did you practice the burnout?
Like I said, my arms were falling off at the end. I think I just wanted to get out of the car at that stage, but got a pretty tasty one in the end. So that was nice long straight line with a spin at the end, a pirouette right on top of the on the start finish line, and even a bit of a homage to Jimmy Johnson by just scraping the back end on the wall, just like he did to hide his dodgy setup. But obviously
we have to put you back through scrutineering.
Yeah, well, we got that coming straight after, so I'm sure the scrutineers will be looking through that with a fine-tooth comb. But I love me some Jimmy Johnson. He was an absolute superstar at Dover. So I'd like to think that. I don't know why there'd be any correlation between his skill and mine, but it's just cool to win on a track that I saw him win a million times, and I just really enjoy racing ever since I got on the service. It's just a really fun track to race on. It suits me to the ground, because I can't drive the high line to save myself, so the fact it's a track where you have to be glued to the bottom, and the better you can wrap the bottom, the better. The faster you are. Really suits me. So, and I feel like I've got some ways to get around it. So, Scott.
Can we get a fan car out there? I am taking this man to the High Line back at Michigan. I'm getting out there. What can I do? I'm a right high up and against the wall guy. So I know exactly what I'm going to do to you.
Yeah, the only time I'm up near the wall is when I'm heading straight for it. So I don't run the top very well, and that was sort of one of the things that gave me a bit of comfort in this race, was knowing that Ethan is generally sort of one of the better guys, I feel, at running the top. Probably him and Brad, maybe Dave, I think are probably the top three at running the high line. The fact that I was pretty confident that wasn't going to come in today. There are times where it works, but I was pretty confident it wasn't going to happen. So that, once I got out to that little bit of lead, I was pretty hopeful that nothing would derail it. It was just a matter of if there would be yellows.
Well, that was our longest green flag run of the season at about 197 laps. So congratulations on keeping it straight for that long. So
Thank you.
we've given you the floor already plenty tonight, but you've got it for a little bit longer. Shout out to friends, family, sponsors. The floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you, Aaron. Well, obviously, first and foremost, everyone that worked behind the scenes to put it all on. You guys in the booth. I'll definitely watch this one back. I'm sure it'll be a great watch. Everyone, all the competitors. Like I said, unfortunately tonight was marred a little bit by that. We didn't get to see a fair few guys' pace. I'm sure there was some other storylines that would have happened, but I'm happy. Happy days with that. But shout out Alex, Ollie, all my friends and family, VRS, Altus Engineering. This is probably one of the few times where I won't be able to say that I was just using an out-of-the-box Altus Engineering setup. Like I said, I did a bit of tinkering with it, made some changes, obviously starting from a really strong base was helpful, but it's worthwhile getting for sure. Other than that, just all you guys, thank you.
Well, congratulations on taking your third win for the series.
Awesome, thank you.
Well, that is going to wrap us up here tonight. Race winner Matt Danson puts his third win on the season, moves to the overall lead of bonus points. Tonight was one of those weird and wonderful races where a lot of good cars were out of the running very, very early on. Who is going to be moving through the field as we move into the subsequent weeks. Next time out, we're heading to Kansas. We're back on the cookie cutters, the mile and a halves. Who is going to have the speed and a track where the top line can show you a little bit of love? Kansas Speedway is going to be a big one when we head next time out. Sunday, May the 11th. Dorman, thank you very much for joining me for your first broadcast on the NASCAR Championships. I know you've been here with us in the midweek stuff, but it was good to have you along for the ride here tonight.
Second broadcast for tonight, but thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, thank you for joining me and filling in for me last week as well. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you along for the ride as well. She was a long one tonight. 196 laps in the green. Can we go just that distance? It won't be in that lap count next time out. You'll have to join us in 2 weeks' time to find out. We'll see you all then.